This is a Nikon 1J1. This is a tiny little lens. Let me explain. A while back I picked up a Super 8mm movie camera at a thrift store with the idea of somehow converting it to shoot digital video with a vintage look. That didn't work out. Then I realized that the look I wanted really came from the lens, so I took the camera apart to try to remove the lens and adapt it to a different camera. That didn't work out. But inside the camera, I found this tiny little lens which was actually what focused the image from the big lens onto the film. The Nikon J1 is a 10 megapixel mirrorless camera that came out in 2011, and from what I can tell it's not super popular with camera enthusiasts, meaning it can still be found for relatively cheap. I found that if I held the tiny lens up to the 1-inch sensor on the J1, I could actually get an image that fills the whole frame. So, I found a 3D model of a body cap for the J1 and I modified it with a hole in the middle and some threads that fit the little lens. And there you have it, a functional lens. Focus can be adjusted simply by screwing the lens in and out, and while it's obviously not the sharpest lens, it does kinda seem to produce that vintage Super 8 look I was aiming for. This can be useful for photography, but where it really shines is video. The J1 can shoot 1080p video, and since there's no stabilization whatsoever, the footage is pretty shaky, which is perfect if you're trying to emulate the look of Grandpa's old Super 8 home movies. I think that the affordability, small sensor size, and decent specs of the J1 make it a good option for someone who wants to experiment with DIY lens adapting. I have some more ideas for lenses I would like to adapt to this camera in the future, but for now I am quite pleased with my little failed experiment here.